guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a wear test on the Rimmel Lasting Finish Breathable Foundation. So if you like to see my thoughts and opinions and how it wears on my dry skin, then please just keep on watching. So this is what the foundation looks like, and it says shake before use, lightweight skin perfecting foundation with medium coverage breathable skin technology that moisturises for up to 25 hours, and it has SPF 20 in it. I got the shade 010 light porcelain because I thought, obviously the light shade because I'm so pale, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be too pink. I did buy this in Boots because they didn't have any of this shade in Superdrug. So I'm going to do one face with a brush and then the other with a sponge, and I've not primed my skin, I've just cleansed, toned and moisturised. So I've just shook it, and then when you open it it's like a big dofer, so I'm just going to paint it on. So that is just like kind of one dip, so I'm going to do this side with the brush. Oh, and this is a new brush. I got it from What Brothers. It was £4. It's the Rainbow Cosmetics or something like that. It was £4 and it's actually very soft. Alright, so it's not really dense enough to blend it out like around my eyebrows, like you can see like the line. So I'm just going to swap to the other brush that I normally use for foundation because that one's a lot more denser. So I'm going to go in with a second layer. See if we can build it up a little bit more, and then just buffing it in again. And I do have dry skin, so I'm just going to use the brush to do the top of my nose because I can't really do half of like the top of my nose. So that is 2 layers of it, and it does actually really match me quite well. It's just slightly too pink. I'm more of like a yellow undertone, and it's just like the slightest bit too pink. But as you can see, it's like kind of like sticking in my pores here. I don't know if you will be able to see that. And it hasn't really got a lot of coverage, but it is medium, so I don't know. I don't really like it with like the brush, so hopefully I will like it better blended in with a sponge. So just painting it on again with this thing. I think this is supposed, is this not like the dough for the Tarte Shape Tape foundation has got on it? And then I'm going to blend it out with my Revolution Soft Complexion sponge, is that what it's called? So that's one layer, and you can still see pretty much all of my little red spots. I don't know what's going on now. I've got like hundreds of like wee tiny dots. I don't know if I've been like bitten by midges or whatever, but you can still see the redness on all of them. It's covered quite a lot on my forehead. So I'm going to go back in with a second layer. See if we can build it up some more. So that's the second layer all blended out, and you can still see like all the redness on my little like spots. You can still see my pores. It's sunk into my smile line like the slightest wee bit, but all foundations do that anyway. I prefer it blended out with a sponge. It looks a lot nicer, like it kind of looks more like my skin, whereas with the brush you can see that like I have foundation on. So I think I'm going to go over this side with the sponge just to try and help blend it in a little bit. Then just to see how much coverage we can get, I'm going to add another layer. See if we can build this up. And the only thing to note is, see when you're taking it out, it's like spitting, like not spitting, some drops of foundation are coming off it. Tigger is lying on my legs. I'm sitting with my legs crossed and he's got his claw in my leg. So I'm just going to blend it all in with the sponge because I do prefer the finish of it. And I will be doing a wear test on this, so I will do like a couple of check-ins. I know that in my past videos I've said that I will be doing a couple of check-ins and then just do one like at the end of the night, but I will do a couple of check-ins with this. It's just with George. It's only really when he's sleeping that I can like record, because of like if he's sitting in anything then he'll be like playing with his toys and obviously making quite a bit of noise, and it's not really fair on you guys, like making you listen to that. So that is the third layer applied, and I still prefer this one. Like you can still see that it's not really sitting nicely on this part of my skin from like the brush, but I do prefer the side with the sponge. Obviously it isn't really covering a lot of my redness, but as a medium coverage. So just looking at my skin, obviously I've said that you can see my pores here. It's obviously not really covering any of my red patches. You can see like the foundation's kind of like stuck to like my wee baby facial hairs. I think that's what's making this side look worse. It actually looks pretty okay on my forehead, just it's already like sunk into all the little lines on my forehead, because I must constantly sit like this. I must be constantly surprised. But I'm not really sure if I like it right now. Obviously I'm going to go and finish doing the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like with it, like my concealer and powders and all of that on top of it. So I'll go do that and then I'll be right back. So I just went and finished doing the rest of my makeup, and this is how my skin is looking now. The foundation looks a lot better with the powders and everything over the top. It doesn't look like as dry, if that makes sense. Like it's weird, even though putting powders on it, it doesn't look as dry. It does look really nice on my skin, and I applied a bit too much bronzer. But apart from that, I do kind of like it now while my face has been like powdered and that. So this has been on my skin for like 30-40 minutes while I finish doing the rest of my makeup. So it's currently 22:11, so I will check back in a couple of hours to see how the foundation is sitting on my skin and everything. So I'll see you in a little bit. So it's just after 5 o'clock. I was going to say 6 there. So the foundation's been on my skin for about 6.5 hours, I think. And it has definitely been put through its test. I was cutting my grass today. I have a really big back garden and side garden, and then like a small patch of grass at the front. So mum was helping me cut the grass. So my foundation has kind of come off like here and here, but that's because my hair was touching my face and I thought it was like bugs, so I was constantly sitting like trying to like swipe it away. I just hate bugs and just didn't want them anywhere near my face. It's sunk into the little lines here because I was like this because of the sun, but pretty much all foundations do that anyway. It's sunk into my smile lines even more. It's sunk in more on this side, like it comes all the way down, whereas this one like stops here. But again, it always does that. It doesn't really look that great on my skin. My skin looks really quite dry with it. George is awake, by the way. But I don't know. It looks okay. It just doesn't look the best. Like I've got other foundations that I can wear for like 8 to 10 hours and still look really nice. But it's just, my skin just looks really quite dry at the moment. It has kind of came off my chin a little bit, and it's like sticking to like a couple of dry patches on my chin as well. It's not really come off my nose, but that's because I haven't actually been touching my nose that much today. And it is actually looking okay on my nose. It's just looking like where I've got texture on my face, it's just not looking that great. Like it looks okay like round here because obviously I've got like no dry skin or no texture on like the side here, but where I've got like little lines on my forehead and then like my pores here and then like any dry patches, it doesn't look that great on my skin. So I'll come back in another couple of hours and we'll see how it is looking on my face then. So it's now 25 to 11, so it's nearly been 12 hours that this foundation has been on my skin. And I forgot to say in the last clip, like in the natural daylight, it looked as if the foundation had like oxidised on my skin. It doesn't look like it now in front of my softbox lights, but in natural lighting it did look as if like my face was like a lot more orange than what my neck was. So taking a closer look, it's obviously still sunk into the lines in between my eyebrows, but if I just like rub it, then they do kind of go away. The same with my smile line, but on this side, I don't know if you will be able to see, it's like coming all the way around to here, and that never happens. It's only normally like on this side, it's like just here, and that's normally what it's like, that's normally what my smile line's like, but it's like all the way down, and I don't really know why, but it's still not looking that great on my skin. Like on my cheeks and that where I have texture, my lights are making it look a lot better than what it actually is. Like it's just not sitting great on my skin at all, and then on my forehead either. So it's looking like cakey round the sides of my nose, and my foundation has come off there because I had like a wee spot on like my nostril, so I like picked it. So my lights are making it look a lot better than what it actually does in person. Like it doesn't look great at all. I don't like it and I just really want to take it off now. But why is my ear so red? Like, so it did kind of last through like me bathing. My son, he really likes to splash in the bath now, and like he was splashing water like on my face. Like there was a couple of drops that got round here, and it hasn't actually taken any of like the foundation or anything off. Like it is still all like on. I don't know if it's like waterproof. I'll need to check that out, but I don't really like this foundation. Maybe it'll look better with a primer, but obviously I was just showing you guys what it looks like without a primer, for if you guys don't like wearing a primer. But I think next time I will be definitely trying it with a primer to see if I do like it. But so far right now I don't really like it, and I don't really see it as like a 25 hour because it's just not looking great on my skin. It's been 12 hours, so maybe if you've got like normal or oily skin then it'll work better, but just for my dry skin it's just not really looking that great. So it really is just personal preference, so if you want to try it then try it, but this is just my opinion. Obviously everybody has like different opinions on things, so this is just my little input into this foundation, but hopefully it will work better with like a primer and stuff so that I can get my money worth out of it. So that's it for this video, and I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!